as far as scalpers go, GW did at least recently take some steps to mitigate what happened with the latest scalping scandal, which was the
End in the Death
End in
Part
the Death
3?
Volume 3.
Yeah.
Because obviously that rather predictably sold out in. I mean, this is one of the problems they've got is the stuff seems to go on sale before the actual pre-order time. So apparently it was sold out like literally like it started going on sale at 5 to 10 and it was gone by 10 o'clock.
No, my experience, they always seem to do it on time. In my experience, you get stuck in a fucking queue.
But you had the usual scalpers, people putting it up immediately on eBay.
Infuriating.
And there was one guy who boasted that he got 11 copies.
He ain't getting 11.
No, he's not now because GW turned around and cancelled anybody who'd done multiple orders.
Yeah, clamped down on it. Fantastic.
It's good. It's very good. That's exactly what I'd expect them to do. Be it via IP address, postage address, whatever. They won't get them all, but they've got a lot. They've got enough to put them back up on sale.
Yeah.
But this is one of the problems. They've said exactly when it's going back up on sale, so the same thing's just going to happen again. Whether or not they're going to do a third tranche of it or not, I don't know. What I would have done is let people place orders and said, look, you're now on a waiting list. You've got a queue number. We're sold out, but we know that there's going to be scalpers. As and when we cancel orders and stock becomes available from cancel orders, you're in a queue, like a ticket number. You'll be allocated a copy of the book. That's what I do, because the way they've done it is admirable. Well done, GW. And I think the amount of pushback and exposure they got, that they had to do it. Because one of the problems with this series is, like, obviously this is a series of, like, what, 12 books?
Yeah, I've not read any of them, actually.
No, I've not read any of them.
I'm really slacking.
I think it's 12 books. And you imagine, like, obviously, you've got these nutters out there who do like to collect every single hardback, leather-bound volume, and they're very pretty books and everything. But you imagine by the time you get to the 12th book, the last one you need to collect that, people are going to pay this 300 quid on eBay. And scalpers know it. And they're like,
do not fucking even. Right? Do not. Right, ever since Games Workshop started, well, actually, more precisely, ever since I became aware of Heresy,
the big back book.
Whoa,
Malevolence, is it?
Yeah, and ever since I became aware of them doing that series, and I clapped eyes on one and read it, probably around my mate Tim's house, Tim the Unfielder, I've fed enough of them. I was like, the quality of this black book from Heresy, like the campaign books, it's fantastic. I'm like, it's miles above anything that Games Workshop's design studio do. It's better than codexes. It's better than any of their campaign books that they kind of push out onto people. And I was like, this is great. So I made it a point of getting 2 a year, one for birthday, one for Christmas, to catch up and then just keep an eye on stuff as it went along. So I kind of slacked off a bit towards the end of the series. And I think whichever one, the one with the Space Wolves and Thousand Suns is that covers Prospero. That one, yes, I believe that was it. I clocked that on one of my trips to Warhammer World, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'll get it next time. I'll buy some models instead. Because,
all of a took.
Yeah. So, but then they restocked it because they ran out, and they restocked it in hardback. And I was like, right, next trip, when they had it, I got it. And then I was waiting for Malevolence to come out, and I couldn't get to Warhammer World to actually get it because I can't remember. I'm assuming that Forge World actually sold them on their site. I can't remember. Got to Warhammer World, and they were like, "Sorry, mate, Malevolence is all gone." And I was like, goddamn bitch ass. Yeah. And then they did another print run in fucking softback.
Yep.
And I was just like, why? Obviously, the cost is why. But I was like, why? Like, I don't want it. I don't want to have a whole row of like.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when they change
the format or something, and you've been collecting them.
They did Gaunt's Ghost, so I was collecting all Gaunt's Ghost novels.
Yeah.
The first 8 were fine, and then they changed the design, and it's just like,
hey,
thanks.
Yeah, thanks a bunch. Yeah, so like I've got the campaign books for Heresy, like in like black leather. I got like the slipcase. There was a collector's one with like an art book and something else in it. I can't remember now. It's downstairs. Yeah, and then when it came to Malevolence, I was like, I do not want a fucking paperback sitting there with like fake silver print on the spine next to the fanciest shelf in the house that I really like. And yeah, and you cannot fucking get it. Like, it appears on eBay every now and again, 400 quid, 500 quid, and I'm like, I don't want it that much, you know?
Yes,
It's
yeah,
the
so yeah, exactly.
principle. I'm not going to pay that much for a book that cost 90 quid when it came out. It's not happening.
No, it's
It's just
crazy.
not.
Yeah.
Caved eventually and got it in softback.
Oh, you did get
Because
some.
someone put it up on eBay and it was only about 80 quid, and I was like, you know what, I'll stretch to that. I'll get it. At least then I've got the book and I don't have to faff about with PDFs. But it's not downstairs on the shelf with the others. It's up in my man cave.
It's not worthy.
No, so I got it, but it's not of the same standard, so it's not down with the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know exactly what you mean with
Yeah.
scalpers. It's a fucking piss take, and it's absolutely
It's very unfortunate.
infuriating.
I
Yeah, it's
mean,
infuriating that there's actually organised websites organising shit like that
yeah.
to get people onto Games
Well, it
Workshop's
started off with things
websites.
like PlayStation 5, didn't it? When
Yeah,
because obviously, yeah, there were graphic chip shortages because of people bit mining and all that kind of stuff. So they bought all the bloody processing units and stuff like that.
graphics
And
cards. Yeah,
obviously, things like PlayStation 5s and Xbox Ones or whatever, no, the Xbox X or whatever it's called,
yeah, Series
were like
X.
massively limited, and then they were getting scalped, and people were literally going onto websites and just draining all the stock in one hit or
Yeah,
one hit. So I admire GW for what they've done. And I think they had to do it because obviously, like, there was lots of videos on YouTube of people saying that this isn't good enough. You need to do more. Your queue system doesn't really do much because bots
no,
just abuse it.
the queue system is bullshit, right? Like, Epic got released, and at like a quarter of an hour ahead of time, I was like, right, I've dedicated half an hour to getting onto the site and getting this shit, because so I had a bunch of different websites covered. Like, there's a bunch of third parties and stuff in case for buying the big box, and
Yeah,
then for other stuff that was GW exclusive, like the cards and whatnot, I was hawking the Games Workshop website. And so, a quarter of an hour early, I get put in a queue, and he fucking got me through to the Games Workshop website before the stuff went up. So I'm
yeah,
sitting there refreshing the page,
yeah.
and then I get turfed off of the website for inactivity, just as they updated the site, and it all got released. And
Yeah.
I was like, what the motherfuckers?
It's
Put me
almost like
back
you've
in
got
the
to
queue.
estimate how long the queue's going to be.
Yeah,
It just doesn't work. Just doesn't
yeah.
work.
They put me back in the queue, and I was like, shit. Like, now I've got to wait like another 10 minutes in this stupid queue, and then by then, all the stuff that I want is probably going to be in the bin.
And don't forget that you guys can drop a comment below to vote on our next not discussing current events video. And if nobody votes, I'm just going to pick something. So the options
Works for me.
were: first one was did Primaris ruin Space Marines? Second one was, is 40k just too big now? Third one was 3D printing. We'll have a chat about that. And the fourth one is GW pricing in general, because there's a lot that can be said about that. Pros and cons, alternatives, blah, 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 blah. Just stuff we can chat about for ages. So yeah, leave a comment below and we'll tally up the votes. Thanks for listening, guys, again. And
Yeah, thank you.
like, subscribe, share, leave a comment saying if you like it and stuff. And we will catch you next time.
Yeah, stay out of trouble.